In Chapter 17 of Zora Neale Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God, when new migrant workers arrive for the season in the muck, some of the men flirt with Janie, and some of the women flirt with Tea Cake. Mrs. Turner makes good on her promise to introduce her brother to Janie, which makes Tea Cake so upset he beats Janie. Tea Cake's friend and fellow laborer, who goes by the name of Soptibottom, asks Tea Cake about it, and when Tea Cake tells him that he slapped her around, he approves of Tea Cake's actions, as well as his proposed boycott of Mrs. Turner's restaurant. One Saturday night, Tea Cake and his fellow laborers are out on the town, drinking, and they head to Mrs. Turner's restaurant to eat. But when two more workers show up later and there are no available seats, they start a wild, drunken brawl. Tea Cake seems to try and break up the fight, but he only makes things worse. The restaurant's trashed, and Mrs. Turner decides to return to Miami, where, according to her, people are better behaved. On Monday, a couple of the workers return to apologize, each giving Mrs. Turner $5. Tea Cake's unexpected outburst of violence mirrors Joe Stark's abuse of Janie and shows that Tea Cake feels insecure and vulnerable not only in his marriage, but in his status as a black man. The central incident in this chapter suggests that Tea Cake may be becoming more like Killick's and Stark's. Is the love that Janie found with him doomed to fall into the same pattern as her marriage to Joe Stark's? The theme of gender identity appears in the depiction of men who need to control women. Soptibottom approves of the fact that the bruises Tea Cake gave Janie are visible for everyone to see. He complains that when he beat the woman he was with, she'd fight back, make a lot of noise, and complained. Talking amongst themselves, the men claim to want women to be submissive. Tea Cake's behavior in this chapter is also tied to the theme of race. Tea Cake disagrees with the way Mrs. Turner is color-struck. He's also angry with her for sending her brother after Janie. Other friends of his also disapprove of Mrs. Turner's attitude toward blackness and her judgment of their behavior. Powerless to change how he looks, Tea Cake resorts to violence to show the Turners who's boss.